Download the BCSN Plus app today.
Well, the Mud Hens, red hot, have taken 5 of 6 in Omaha. We welcome in Brad Woznicki from the Mud Hens to join us. And Brad, it seemed like that series in Omaha is either a lot of runs or pitchers, though. There's really no in between in those 6 games.
Right. I mean, you saw the Omaha Storm Chasers come to Toledo back in April. Mud Hens swept them. Then they come back to Toledo and they sweep the Mud Hens. Now this time around, you almost had a near sweep, if not for a game that kind of got away from the Hens. But that first beginning of the series, you saw a total of 40 runs scored between the two teams. Could have been a very wild series. Really, the rest of the way, you saw tight ball games, including 3 straight one-run games in which the Mud Hens came out on top. Now they've won 8 of their last 9, and they put themselves in better position here early on in the second half of the season.
That's right. Second half of the season is officially here. Mathematically, it was a few weeks ago, but this is the All-Star break, so Hens off a couple of days before they come back home. Before we get to that home set, Akil Baddoo doing something that hasn't been done in a long time. Not 1, not 2, 3 triples for Baddoo.
Yeah, there were certainly players throughout this series that, had their moments, had their games. And for Akil Baddoo, having 3 triples in a game, no one in the minor leagues had done that since 2006. And that was Danny Espinoza, who was the last one to do that. So very impressive there for Akil Baddoo. And let's be honest, too, you're talking Omaha, Warner Park. There's always a lot of offense there. The conditions lead to that a lot of times, and it was no surprise to see the early runs that were coming from both teams to start that series.
Now, as we approach the Major League Baseball trade deadline, the Tigers are probably going to be making some moves, looking to add some pieces, which means an Akil Baddoo or a Justin Henry Malloy could be very attractive for a trade partner, and Malloy's bat is heating up as well.
Yeah, Justin Henry Malloy comes through with 25% of the Hens runs that were scored last week. They put up 36 runs for the week total against Omaha. He had 9 RBIs, had a few doubles mixed in there, and he is definitely a guy where you'd say you look at his consistency at the plate, you look at the patience that he shows, and just really his veteran play out there. You like him to possibly be on another team, but at the same time, you'd love to have him in your organization.
One thing that's been impressive since his call-up from AA Erie has been Troy Melton, the way he has performed as a starting pitcher. He's had back-to-back strong outings.
Hey, you were looking for guys when it came to that starting role to try and fill when Cater Montero was not available. And let's be honest, Cater Montero's been on a bus back and forth to Detroit for the last few months, and Troy Melton comes up. His ERA right now is just above 3, which has been very impressive. His last outing, 5 2/3, allows just 2 hits, strikes out 8, and walks only 2. I mean, he's a guy that's making the most of his opportunity in a big way, in a fast way.
One thing the Tigers might be looking to do is add some bullpen arms. Could there be some help in Toledo to help out that bullpen for Detroit?
A guy like Jordan Balazovic has been in that conversation throughout the season, and you added a guy too in Drew Summers, so you get a lefty right there. He's been good. His strikeout to walk ratio has been impressive, and I think PJ Poulin has also been a guy that's been pretty consistent out there, and he's already had his chances up there with the Tigers. He could be there at the end of the season when they try to make a playoff run.
So the longest road trip of the season is over. They are back home for 3 games beginning on Friday with the Memphis Redbirds coming to town.
Yeah, it's an opponent that we don't see very often here, right? But Memphis right now is within a couple of games of the Toledo Mud Hens, and overall the Mud Hens are just 3.5 games back in the entire International League with Scranton Wilkes-Barre there at the top, and the Hens put themselves in a better position. Now 11-7 on the season. We still have 57 games to play in the second half of the season, but you put the Mud Hens currently tied for 5th in the International League. Good spot to be in here early. Long way to go.
Yeah, keep in mind, it is a split season. So what happened in April, that bad April, is long gone. It doesn't matter. The Hens, if they have a strong August and September, they could win the second half and find their way in the postseason.
The question is, who wants to play the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp at the end of the season?